Christian martyr, to me, is someone who gets shot, right?
Okay.
To me, a Muslim martyr is someone who has a gun. If you look at the poorest countries, they've always been religious. You get the Catholic island, which was dirt poor. You get the Middle East. You look at absolute religious countries,
yes,
and they're all in poverty.
Okay. There has to be something objective that challenges our subjectivity.
Yes.
Otherwise, subjectivity built today, should I hang a rainbow flag or not hang a rainbow flag? Should I allow this in my church or not allow this in my church? Everything becomes subjective.
There's a problem I have because I'm trying to process what you're saying. And what you seem to be saying to me is that everyone has their own experience of this divine being.
Yes.
And essentially you can do whatever you will as long as you're trying to do your best.
No,
okay.
Because the more you meditate, or the more you it comes naturally.
What comes naturally?
The right way of living comes naturally.
If the right way of living were a natural process through experience, why did this consciousness communicate with anyone to start with? Why not allow us to come to this experience naturally? Why send any message? Why send Jesus or the Prophet Muhammad?
That might be the end goal.
What might be the end goal?
People coming to it naturally. That might be the end goal.
But that's the question.
We're still on the way. We're still on the path.
But Bill, this is what I'm asking you. If this is something that we can come to naturally ourselves, just through our experience,
yeah.
then why send Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, or Jesus, peace be upon him? Why do that in the first place? Because that's an opposite thing, right? The reason you send a messenger is because you need people to get the message. If people can come up with a message themselves, they don't need to be sent a messenger.
I think it reinforces. I think they come to reinforce what's inside us.
Can I tell you something very amazing? Have you heard of something called the fitrah?
The which?
The fitrah. So in Islam, I'm a Muslim, we believe that we have a part of us is something called the fitrah. This is our understanding, our compass that points towards us as a spiritual being seeking the Creator.
Can I hold on to that?
Yeah, you can. You feeling dizzy?
I'm just a bit.
Yeah, hold my hand. You can hold my hand.
Right.
Feeling a bit dizzy, right?
Well, I've just got off a plane.
Okay, no problem. If you need to sit down, if you need to sit down.
No, I'm fine.
Okay, just hold my hand. Now, if you can hold this brother's hand, he's standing next to you. Okay.
Righto.
Okay. We don't want you falling over or hurting yourself.
No.
Yeah? So, if we have this thing inside us called the fitrah, and that this is an inclination towards the Creator. That's part of our nature. So we are a spiritual being that seeks the worship of the one God, who we know is not the creation, and this is something natural within us. The messengers and the prophets, they come to awaken this natural disposition and to take us away from worshipping the nature around us, whether that be a man called Jesus, peace be upon him, or whether that's a tree, whether that's the moon or the stars or a statue. When the messengers come, they bring us back. They awaken this natural thing inside of you.
That's right.
Absolutely. So what you're saying, some of the concepts you hold are very much in line with an Islamic understanding of the human being.
Of course they are.
But there's one issue though. And the issue is that we can only know what our purpose is through the message that the divine gives to the messengers. So you can't do it, no one can go off willy-nilly and make up their own way and make the claim, this is my experience. So otherwise, everyone can end up in different places, and that's a misguidance. And that would be unfair for God to just leave you to roam around in the dark wildly, trying to find your way. And this is a reason for sending the messengers, because they are light onto the darkness. They bring you out of spiritual.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
This is why even in the New Testament, Jesus says he's the light. Right? The light. He shows the way. The Prophet Muhammad was showing the way. He shows us the way to the Creator. He shows us how to live your life, what that messenger has said.
It just amazes me that Jewish people and Christian people and Muslim people fight like they do.
Oh, I
it just amazes me. Amazes me.
But what I'm concerned, I agree with you. It's horrible what's happening around the world. But for you as an individual, Bill, there's a duty upon you to try and seek this Creator, and to make sure that what you're doing in terms of living your life and where you're headed is in accordance with what this Creator wants. Now, from what I see, and forgive me if I'm misrepresenting you, but I just from our conversation, I feel that you're not certain about the requirement of there being the need to follow that messenger, follow that prophet that came. Now, the prophet...
I'd rather find my own way.
That's what I mean. That's exactly what I'm saying. If everyone were doing this, then everyone would end up in a different place, potentially.
Not necessarily.
Potentially. And I'll give you an example. We have people in Indian subcontinent who go to a big building and they're worshipping snakes, or they're worshipping rats. You go to South America, there are people in history who are killing children and men on a daily basis, sacrificing to the sun.
That's right.
So that if you look around the world and you look around at human and cultural experience and human history, what you see is that people have often ended up in the wrong place. Because why? They were finding their own way. And this is why the messengers come.
I get that. That's true.
And so what I would be saying to you,
it's finding your own way within that pathway. It's walking in the footsteps of the messengers. Yes.
Absolutely.
That's the best
I
way.
agree with you. How do we walk in the footsteps of the messengers?
How can I put it? I work a lot with people in trouble, right? And often I will see the very people that Jesus worked with. And it takes me back to that time, so that you suddenly realise time means nothing. You suddenly realise that there are people who you're not even worthy to tie their shoelaces, and those people you follow.
So I'm going to ask. I understand what you've said. I appreciate that, and I thank you for the work that you're doing. I think is valuable. The question, because you're working with the vulnerable in society, but the question I'm asking you really is, you said that we have to follow in the footsteps of the messengers.
Yeah.
So the only question now is, how do we know? How do we determine?
We know. We know through experience.
But what are you? So this is the question. If it was, because we're going in a little bit of a circle, but I'm going to try and sort of clarify that. If it's our experience for every individual here that leads you to whichever path is the right path, then what's the need for sending any messengers? Whether it's the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, or Jesus, peace be upon him, because it's in you.
See, Islam concentrates a lot on social order. Right?
That's one of the facets.
The key things.
Yeah.
Social order.
Yeah.
Christianity has a lot of guilt.
Yes.
So
the original sin.
They're different. They're different paradigms.
Yeah.
It's often like a Christian martyr. To me, is someone who gets shot. Right.
Okay.
To me, a Muslim martyr is someone who has a gun. I would.
I don't know if that's true. That's not true.
I don't. But there's Christian martyrs. I don't know. I could be terribly wrong with that. But to me, the reality of all that is puts all that's written into dust.
Okay. So, Bill, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to...
We've got to finish.
Yeah, I'm just going to wind up. I can see that. So what I'm going to say is that the reason that God sends messengers is to give people that information that you can walk in the footsteps of the messengers, so that you can do what the Creator wants you to do on the earth, fulfill your purpose.
Yes.
It's on your own. without any guidance from the Creator, that would be unjust to put you here and to make you
Yeah, I know.
So what I'm inviting you to, this is an invitation, this is a conversation invitation. You don't need to do this on your own. You're not on your own. The messengers have come. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, has come. We have verified information from him, the Quran. We have verified information of his own explanation of this, the Hadith, that explains that what you need to do is worship the one God without worshipping the creation. And you follow in the footsteps of the messenger, and this is the route to your salvation. Part of that is the social order. Part of that is treating your neighbors well. Part of that is, the Prophet peace be upon him said that if you don't show mercy to mankind, then the one will not show mercy to you. So this is part of our being, is that we have to be of a service to the community.
Yep.
So, but if you're on your own, trying to find your own way and telling other people, because you're a minister, telling other people that just go your own way and you will find the way.
Oh, well, you don't do it like that.
Good. I'm glad.
You don't do it like
Good.
that.
I'm glad. But I'm saying seek that information and actually read more about Islam.
Oh,
You seem to accept a lot about the Islam from your way that you're describing things. Good.
No, I don't have any problem.
So can we give you some information to go away with so you can read? Or?
No, I got heaps.
Are you sure?
I got heaps, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, Bill.
Do you have a
Thank
copy
you,
of the
guys.
Quran? Do you have a copy of the
I've
Quran?
got all that,
Okay,
yeah.
lovely.
A long time ago, I was going to Alexandria to learn Arabic, to
nice.
read it, because they always used to tell me
Nice.
to read the Quran in Arabic, because all the other people turn it all around, you know.
Bill, can we get?
What's
Can
the
we
brother's
get?
name?
Yeah, Bill.
Bill, you know, you said something very interesting there about, one has many rules, i.e. Islam, and on the other side it seems a lot easier in terms of, faith and belief and these type of things. But Bill, the important thing really is not the number of rules or how stringent they are or they appear to be, but where they've come from.
Yes.
You see, if you know where it comes from,
Yes.
you don't need the rules, because you live them anyway.
Bill, you see, the thing here is this. If that were true, you see, look, if that approach were true, then most reasonable or sensible people would be able to decipher the reality of living.
Oh, yeah.
But the point is, Bill, we know that's not the case.
Yeah.
That's right.
And so therefore, as Imran has explained, that there has to be something objective that challenges our subjectivity.
Yes.
Otherwise, subjectivity, Bill, today, should I hang a rainbow flag or not hang a rainbow flag? Should I allow this in my church or not allow this in my church? Everything becomes subjective. And often, Bill, what you'll find is the ones creating the greatest level of influence in changing those things are not godly in the first place. And the people who are godly are being influenced by the ungodly to adapt and change their own outlook on things and their practices.
And that's called life, real life.
And
you have to work it out for yourself.
But Bill, the thing is this, that if we were truly to adopt that principle, then we wouldn't need laws, for example, to govern our societies. The reason why we have laws, even in societies where we might have 99% literacy, and we may have...
I get that.
You understand my point?
I get your point.
Yes.
But that's a very black and white world.
Well, I think when it comes to having knowledge or not having knowledge is somewhat of a black and white issue. So, for example, if I have no knowledge about hot drinks can burn me, the chances are, Bill, I'm probably going to get burnt before I learn that lesson.
I get that.
Right?
I get that. What I'm saying is that as soon as you get laws,
yes,
right, you get lawyers, and they work out ways around it. And it has to come from within your heart.
Yeah, you've got to be sincere, Bill. We agree.
But is it better to have no laws then?
No, I'm not saying that.
So
I'm saying it's better to have laws than nothing.
Of course. So look, Bill, what does God expect you to do? He expects you to use your faculty of reason and intelligence and look at those laws and look at the people who are, let's say, propagating or educating you about those laws, and making your best
I would say God expects me
Yes.
to be the best person I can be.
Yes.
Full stop.
According to whose teachings, though?
Would you agree that it's according to the purpose He created you for?
Well, you don't kill, you don't steal, you don't... Because those things fall away.
But whose teachings do you adopt to follow in the best possible way to accomplish the best type of life that you can lead in this world?
Well, I would
and the
say
hereafter?
I would say those permeate through all religions. They permeate through all religions because they just do. They just do. If you and I, like,